Hey everyone, it's Synth Designer back again with another video. Today we're continuing our series on Serum 2 and all of its features. If you're not familiar with the series, I'm taking you through basically all the features of Serum 2, both new and old, and I'm giving you all an overview of just how to use it, whether you're a beginner or a more advanced user, and we're going through things systematically. So today we're going to be looking at the multi-sample feature of Serum 2. In the previous episode, I covered sampling. Multi-sampling is a little bit different, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed the series so far, and I hope you continue along no matter what level you are. Please comment and let me know below if you're enjoying this series and what you would like to see in the future. I'm going to go systematically through this whole synthesizer for all of you, just to give you kind of an overview of how to use it. Like my previous videos, I find it's important that we at least turn to the user manual or the user guide in some sections just to give us a better idea of what some of these features are. And I know that some of you are probably familiar with sampling, but multi-sampling is unique. And the fact that Serum 2 has a multi-sample feature is quite amazing, among other things. So let's just take a look at the definition here. Serum features the ability to set any of the oscillators to function as a multi-sample instrument that utilizes an array of samples, recording of an actual instrument, played across a range of pitches, intensities, and articulations. So multi-samples are from real instruments and people playing them. And what that gives you is, rather than just one static sample that can range across pitches because you're playing different keys on your keyboard, these are actually recorded on different pitches and different kind of varieties of velocities, and it really gives you more control and more unique sounds to them. If you think about real instruments, the tone of your guitar will not be the same if you play it softer or louder. It will not be the same if you play one note versus the other. There's very subtle differences, which makes them what they are. And this gets us closer to real sounding instruments, and the multi-sample feature is really that if you need it to be. And now we have that capability through Serum 2. As you can see here further along, when using a multi-sample instrument, Serum accurately selects the appropriate sample based on the MIDI input, evaluating both pitch and velocity of the note, ensuring that the output sound mimics the real instrument's response as closely as possible. So you really do get a kind of rich and realistic sound from them. So how do we access the multi-sample feature? Well, up here in any oscillator, you just go to multi-sample, click it, and then you have a whole bank of sounds. As you can see, we have a factory setting here, and we could go to something like keys, select grand piano, as you can hear, I still have a long way to go with my piano lessons, just kind of messing around now. But as you can see here, so I'm going to stick just to one note here, and I'm going to press at different velocities. So I'm pressing F. I'm kind of hitting it pretty hard, but if I were to press it softly, so you could see the velocity is up from here to here. So this is the lower velocity, this is higher, and then lower notes get played down here, higher notes get played up here. And basically, you're really getting that nice kind of realistic kind of sound to it. It's not perfect, obviously, but the fact that you could get pianos on Serum all of a sudden is really kind of amazing if you think about it. There's obviously tons of different sounds here that you could go through. I'm not going to go through all of them. I just wanted to kind of quickly go through this one because if you kind of understand sampling, you'll understand a lot of the similarities here with multisampling. And I encourage you to go look at my sampling episode as well as my wavetable episode where I break down other items in Serum 2 for oscillators. But let's just stick maybe with that piano from before. Let's go baby grand piano. Standardly, this is the sound we get. Over here in the left-hand corner, we can set the envelope, so we can override it here, which is really cool. So right now we have, it's just basically the default. Click override. All of a sudden we can set a different kind of or a different ADSR. Obviously nothing now, but a quick decay maybe. And that changes the tone of the piano, that changes the character of it. And you could do that with any of these multi-sampled instrument. You could obviously undo it just by clicking override again and just clicking out of it. But it's pretty amazing that you can just have this kind of flexibility in changing the sound. So it really gives you a different character there just by clicking this envelope setting. Then the other really cool aspect of it, I should mention actually quickly that just like the wavetable function or the sample function, you could go into your unison settings and change up the unison if you want. You get this amazing sounding kind of electric piano out of it. No more struggling on how to create the electric piano on Serum at all. But getting back to the new features, this timbre feature here is really cool. So right now it's on a default setting. And the weird thing that we can do here, so when we remember just playing this one note on E here, you can see it's just about in the middle here. If we get into this guide here, so for multi-samples with zone mapping, inversely adjust mapped samples to pitch. So what does that mean? If we were to go up, it's actually playing these notes lower, even though I'm playing the same note. And if we were to go down, it's playing it higher, but it sounds lower. So what does that mean? Why does this low note sound so high and this high note sound so low? Well, there's that inverse correlation here. And let's go back to the guide. For multi-samples with zone mapping, this control inversely adjusts map samples to pitch. This alters how the samples respond to changes in pitch across different key zones. Normally, as you play higher notes, the pitch of the sample increases. So very obviously, a high pitch note, the pitch increases, and lower notes, the pitch decreases. But when you inversely adjust the mapped samples to pitch, the opposite happens. Higher notes trigger samples that are mapped to lower pitches, and lower notes trigger samples mapped to higher pitches. This creates an unusual or experimental timbral effect as the relationship between pitch and sample playback is reversed. And what this effectively does is give you unique capabilities in how you can create your sounds. So we have the standard sounds, but it really gives you kind of unique elements just through this kind of reversal of the timbre. And timbre is the kind of character of a sound, right? Say a distorted sound is going to have a different timbre than a non-distorted sound, even if you're playing the same note. And this is effectively that. You're playing technically the same note on your keys, but it's changing it through an inverse correlation. Hopefully I'm explaining it okay, But realistically, you have to kind of play around on your keyboard to kind of get that impression. I can't explain sound as much as you can just by playing things yourself. But those are really the main features of the multi-sample oscillator. There's lots more to it, but a lot of the similarities overlap from previous videos. I highly recommend trying out a lot of these multi-sample samples. There's just so many great ones here, and it really is not only a time saver, you don't have to create these sounds, it is a huge money saver if you like kind of basic piano sounds or any other kind of cool electric piano sounds. There's lots more different ones that we didn't get to. Obviously basses, like a pluck bass here. Let's just go back to a standard kind of sound. Lower bass. So really amazing sounds here that are maybe not the highest of quality, but really great quality considering this is just one small feature in Serum 2. Thank you for watching this episode. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. There's plenty more to come. I'm going to cover the granular and spectral oscillators as well and features. And then obviously there's so much more to cover. There's going to be ARP videos. There's going to be more on effects, the mix buses, the matrix and global settings. There's just plenty more to cover. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.